but I can find out. I have lots of people, a lot of tech folks. I just get on Twitter and say, can you help this person do this? Boom. So there's a lot more to this. You know, the hood is just like an engine. It's got all kinds of stuff in there that I don't know what it does. For example, games. Their games are, yeah, they do have Angry Birds.
I used Facebook for a long time using nothing but the games.
Yeah.
And that was it. And once I stopped using the games because it was so addicting, I realized I didn't use Facebook for anything else. And it was just like, I had friends there, but I never talked to them.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Well, some people say that most of this is run using HTML5, which is really kind of next generation browser stuff. Okay, I don't know how to do it. I just know that it's pretty cool, and you can do things like this. This is an HTML5 program, isn't it? Okay, so developers are starting to develop these programs. These will only get more and more sophisticated. There's a whole group of people who think that Angry Birds is an educational philosophy. Because when how many people have played Angry Birds? There's no rule, there's no directions, are there? Okay? So how do you learn Angry Birds?
Play it.
You just
Trial
play
and
it.
error.
You just play it, trial and error. And it's in a pretty forgiving environment. You may curse it, but eventually it will teach you how to play it. In fact, it's really hard to, if you go online looking for cheats, which eventually you will, you'll reach a level you can't do. You can't find them. I couldn't, maybe I wasn't looking in the right place, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Just go back and play some more. But you know, the gamification of education is coming big time. That's the new buzzword, gamification. And curation and gamification. The Latinization of education.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So, I mean, I'm happy to answer any questions that I can, but you know, it's not. I don't think of this as really so much social as productivity oriented. I think this is to make your job better, and the time you invest in it is time well invested. It's not gonna go under like Skype. I just think that thing's going to collapse of its own weight. And who bought it? Microsoft bought it. Oh, yeah. Well, it's doomed.
And I love it. And only for one purpose, for TV, they want to make the video and the Skype.
Yeah, a lot of people, they adopt technology and then something bad happens. And for example, I used a tool called Etherpad, which is basically a collaborative workspace. Wonderful tool. And then Google bought it. And people screamed and yelled. Well, Google said, okay, we'll just open the code up and give it to everybody who wants to use it. And when they did that, there were about 5 or 6 companies adopted it, and there's all kinds of businesses out there that use it now. But I was so angry that I was going to lose my Etherpad. Ooh.
So you can still use Etherpad?
Yeah, there's one called TitanPad. There's one called PrimaryPad. PrimaryPad's really cool because you can draw collaboratively. It's really neat. I don't know why elementary teachers aren't using it. Probably got blocked at their schools.
That's the problem with most.
Although in Kentucky, in this part of Kentucky, where we have a lot of one-to-one laptop initiatives, we're getting a big opening of social networking tools. And with iPad schools coming, we're getting a big opening of social networking stuff. I know.
Twitter.
Yeah.
He posts.
And every time he talks, he says, we really need to do this. We really need to open this up.
Why is it still such a problem? The head honcho of education in the state.
Well, it's the institutional imperatives to protect themselves and cover their own, whats.
And the school districts use it in this area. I think,
Yeah.
Everett County and Bowling Green,
No,
I
they're-
think both use Twitter as a way to communicate with
They
parents and
do,
students.
but somehow they don't want the teachers to implement it in the classroom for some reason. That doesn't
That's
seem.
not hypocritical.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't worry about
But
that.
my students are teachers.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And more often than not, I have problems getting them to use Google Docs because they say,
We cannot use YouTube, we cannot use Google, but we cannot do this with our students. And I want them to implement theirs with their students. Makes no sense that they're only doing it on, you know.
Yeah.
There's an expression for things that are used that get in, like say a sports department adopts Twitter. They all do that. They call it Trojan mouse. That first little program gets in, and then it opens its door up, and then it's too late. So eventually, all the schools will either live free or die. We'll all be